Every year I put out a huge pumpkin patch. It's always a battle to know how well it will do. Sometimes the bugs infest it, or sometimes the conditions are just too dry. But every year I hope for the best and put out numerous amounts of pumpkins and gourds and squash to enjoy all fall long. I love to decorate my home with tons of pumpkins, but don't want to spend the money on buying enough to do as many as I like. So a pumpkin patch is the perfect alternative. If you're new to pumpkin growing, don't worry, it's extremely easy, but you do need a somewhat large space to be able to do it. If you have a smaller space, you may only be able to do 1 or 2 varieties. I have a small field that I fill up and let the vines just go wild, so I'm able to plant numerous amounts of them. To start planting pumpkins, you just need to know that you need to make a hill, put the seeds in it, top it with some light soil and water, and then cover it and make sure the seeds are able to grow in a warm environment. This can't be done until at least mid-May here in the Midwest. It just isn't warm enough for the seeds to grow. Read the instructions on the packets of seeds that you buy. You always want to make sure to hoe a hill for all different types of vines of squash and pumpkins. This is how the seeds and plants do best. Using my hoe, I make a hill, going around the circle and make sure that's even on all sides. You also want to use your hoe to break up the big clods of dirt and make sure they're loose and able for the roots to get through easily. Once you have your hill, pat it down on the top just slightly so it has an even top for the seeds to sit on. Read the instructions on your seeds. Usually they say thin to around 2 or 3 plants with the seeds come up, but not all seeds always sprout. I usually pick about 6 to 7 seeds and put them in the hill, and then later on, once the plants come up, thin them to about 2 plants per hill. I place the seeds on top of the hill and then water them so they all moisten evenly. And then place some very loose dirt on top. Be careful not to overpack the dirt that you put on top of your seeds, or they won't be able to break through. Let it lay and fall lightly on top of the seeds. Once the dirt is on top, you want to place a container. I use jugs that have the bottoms cut off and place them over the top. These jugs create a greenhouse effect that actually causes the humidity to help the seeds sprout more quickly and in a better environment. It also protects them from the harsh winds or storms we may have early on. If you don't have jugs readily available, go to your local garden supply store and see what they might have for starting seeds. If you're unsure about starting your own seeds like I do, you can of course also buy plants at your garden store. It's easier, a little bit more expensive, but you don't have to worry about the seeds coming up then. Plant as many as you like and make sure that you water them. Once they come up and are sprouted, you'll want to water them if it isn't raining at least a couple times a week until they're well established. Since I do such a large patch, it's easy to lose track of all the different types I'm doing. I like to keep a good record of knowing what I put where, what is growing well, and what didn't work out for me. Also, if some of the seeds don't come up, since I'm keeping track, I'm able to go back and see which ones I need to replant and where. To do this, all I do is make a simple diagram and show what plants get planted where and label them accordingly. This helps me know from year to year what's working well for me and what isn't. It's always a good idea to keep a journal or diary of your different gardening habits so you can learn from year to year. Gardening is an ever-growing and learning experience. Pumpkins are so easy to grow, but what we will have to worry about later on are the Japanese beetles we have here in the Midwest. They like to devour the plants, especially when they're in their young stages. Later on, we'll make sure to powder them. And if you're following our garden series, you'll be able to see how I'm doing that and do it with me as well. Hopefully you're going to start a small pumpkin patch of your own this year, and later on you can adorn your home and make your own jack-o'-lanterns. Thanks for watching our video on gardening. To see more of our gardening series, click over here. Or to watch more of our videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel down here. There's so many great videos to learn from. See you next time.